Maryland does, and we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They'll run it with Hill. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Greystone travel. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch the run. Tighten up, tighten up. Tighten up.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. There he goes, left side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Play action. Now it's Lock. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jordan. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
30 base. Tight on this side, boy. Tight on the left.
Lock now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass,
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
Here we go.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
They run with Hill. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing on first down is Locke. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Locke to throw on 2nd down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Complete to Terry McLaurin. Let's go now. 8 read. Brings up 3rd and 8. I'm going to run you over.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down past the 30. And he's all the way up to the 39-yard line that time. That good for 22 and a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And to give this time to the tailback. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Looking to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Here's Locke to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. To throw again on second down. Locke over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Locke. It's Hill, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This one from 46 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Let's go, let's go!
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf, a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Stop your body. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Now.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Locke back near his goal line. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw it is Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now this throw caught left side and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Boom! That's how we do it!
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he'll give it here to his running back. 20. There he goes left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jayon Brown. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Locke going to try and throw on third down. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey. You got to get ready.
Here we go with Hill. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
Let's go. Pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. It's Miller. A big play that time for the Raiders. 49 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. 2nd and 4. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. It's their quarterback. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Locke going to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Locke now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL? That's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And he gets it to go to make this a 35-10 score now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more
There he goes left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing now is Locke. And a completion to Wilson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
61, match box. Ready?
Clock now on first down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going to give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.